Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one.
And we're married.
We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Hello and welcome. This is the part 2 of what we calling this title?
I don't know. Friends of the opposite sex.
Friends.
I may come up with something more clever.
Friends of the opposite sex. Part 2. So thank you for joining us. If you haven't listened to the first part 1, go ahead and listen to part 1 that we talked about.
Absolutely. Got to listen to it or you'll be lost. Right. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. All right. So we're not going to take too much time. I know my baby's feeling good, feeling well, looking great, all that good stuff. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to the second part. So let's jump right back into it.
Yes. So we wrapped up last time with talking about like my rule number 1 as far as that your spouse should be your best friend. We had a lot of conversation over what best friend means, but the definition that we're operating on is someone that you tell a lot of intimate things to, right? So we were discussing like some of the boundaries that we have in place as far as, what is okay to tell and how much you can tell. So we do have an agreement, Jason and I, that if we have a disagreement on something, we will not talk to the opposite sex talk to our friends about that. Maybe we can talk about it afterwards. We're done having that argument maybe. But while we're going through it, we need to definitely talk to each other about what the issues are. And the only time that you could possibly do this is if you really, really want to know like the perspective of the opposite sex. So if it's, we're just going in circles and Jason really wants to get a female perspective about something because he just really think that this is like a female thing or, or just try to get another perspective about it, then he can talk about it. But again, we were talking about how that still could be dangerous. Right.
Right.
So, you just have to tread lightly on that too. Right. But our general rule is that if we're having an argument, we do not discuss this with the friends of the opposite sex. You can talk to your male friends about it. I can talk to my female friend about it. But, we don't need to be doing that.
Right.
That's, recipe for disaster.
Okay.
Okay. So
there it is.
And I'm calling these rules, but I don't know why I'm calling them. But rule number 2 is what is, you need to ask yourself, what is your friend's relationship with your partner? Right?
Okay.
So these, again, we're talking about boundaries when it comes to having friends of the opposite sex.
Right.
So something for you two to discuss, you and your partner to discuss is do you want to meet my friend? Right? Mm-hmm. I need to meet all of Jason's female friends.
Right.
He needs to meet all of my male friends. Now, what happens if Jason doesn't like one of my female friends?
One of your female friends?
I mean, my male friends. Sorry.
Oh, so you're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I don't, I'm going to, I need to write it down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I need to write down. I need to really break down why I don't like that particular individual. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, I've never really disliked any of Ashley's friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Ashley is just a genuine person, and she's she know how to pick her people. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
Yes, for the most part. I try to.
So yeah, I haven't ran into that issue, but if I did, I would write down why I dislike this person and come up with some type of facts or come up with a reason why I disliked it. I just can't say he looked at you funny. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be a part of it, but it needs to be more than just he looked at you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen some pictures where she was in the military, and I just can tell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He told me that he was looking at one picture with me and this guy, and another, I was with two military friends, male friends. And he looked at one of them and was like, that dude like you. I'm like, how you know that from a picture?
And I don't even see the good thing about it, the crazy thing about it, I don't say that often.
Right.
I don't say that often. You know, some guys would just say that random, you know, all their female, you know, all the if their significant other has a lot of male friends, they're going to say that about all of them. But it was this particular one guy, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, here's the deal. Sometimes, even if that guy does like my wife and I can kind of tell, right? Like, I'm going to let Ashley handle that. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe she didn't know and then I brought it to her attention. Then I'm going to let her handle that. I'm going to let her draw that line and say, hey, dude, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting you know what this, if you liking me, I'm happily married. You know, I'm gonna let you handle it. And Ashley know how to break off that relationship if they're not, you know, she know how to do that. She's a grown woman. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
Yes. Yeah. As long as they're not crossing any boundaries, then I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as soon as they cross a boundary, I'm going to let you know you crossed the boundary. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to cut it off. So basically, I mean, I guess the point that I wanted to make with this is knowing that Jason is not a jealous person. I think that's important because some people are just jealous and controlling, right? So knowing that, so you need to, you know, that's a whole nother issue if you're dealing with a guy like that, right? Right. But for me, because I have always had male friends, I could not date anybody who was not cool with my male friends. And if you can't have this sort of mentality that Jason has, right? Like as far as like Ashley knows how to deal with this. She knows how to cut this off. I trust her that she will. Right. She's not going to do anything inappropriate. If they cross boundaries, then she's going to do what she needs to do.
Total trust.
But so if you, Jason, come up to me and I have a new male friend that comes into my life and you say you really don't trust him, you don't like him, and for some reason you actually don't want me hanging around him, I'll happily not hang around him. Right. Like quick, easy, because you're more important to me than this person over here. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's just as simple as that. So if you don't like it, I think that, I don't know if men, you can explain this to me, Jason, or, give your thoughts on this, but I feel like you guys definitely don't like to be controlled, right? Nobody likes to be controlled, but I think that men, right, like any slight hint of any sort of control, they do not like it. So I think that maybe y'all may have a harder time with this if your woman says to you, especially if it's been a friend that's someone that you've known for a while, if she says to you, listen, I don't like her. Can right. I don't trust her. Do you have to remain friends with her?
State the facts.
I mean, I'll state some facts, but
yeah. And if you state some facts and we can have, first of all,
do y'all see this reaction, y'all? Y'all see how easily.
But listen. Let me just. I'm just throwing it out there because I think in different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if my wife comes to me and says I don't like her, then obviously it's something that she's not that she's seeing that I'm not seeing, right? So that can be just a simple conversation. Well, babe, why you don't like her? You know what I'm saying? And then we're just gonna have a conversation. Then it is what it is. Because you're my wife. You know what I'm saying? That's a friend. So, we have a ship to sail together. You know what I mean? Like that's merely an island. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to another island. We got places to go, people to see. But at the same time, I'm just trying to. That's why I say I talk in different perspectives. I want because some of us men out here, like you said, don't want to be controlled. So if you come with facts, if you come with actual stuff, then it can help get through to that stubborn guy. Yeah. Or that jealous guy.
Listen, I'm going to give y'all an example. When Jason and I were still dating, I think that y'all just don't like to be told what to do. Or you totally want to make the decision on your own. Because when we were dating, some girl was calling you late, and we know you give me this BS about
what BS?
BS about it's different. So at this time, this girl was in California.
Yeah, it was a different time zone,
and we were in Memphis. And I was in boot camp. I had just got out of boot camp, and some chick, I get out of boot camp, Jason hanging out with me, and some chick called him twice.
We was in Pensacola.
Which
was on the Eastern time zone, correct?
Yes, but listen.
Okay.
That's 1 hour difference between when she was normally calling you.
But it's 3 hours from California.
Okay, so I need you to do that mental math. Okay.
Right.
So it's not that hard, right?
So if it's 11 in Pensacola, 10-9, it's 8 o'clock in
she
California.
need to make the adjustments. And it wasn't 11. It was like 12 or 1 o'clock.
I don't think it was that late. I don't think it was that late.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
We was out. We went to a party.
Yeah, went to a club.
Yeah. So
yeah. Was that before the club, after the club?
She called you like twice. And we were like, first, we all ate, me and my brother and you. We went out. And she called you like before we went to the club. But we like in the car going to the club.
Right. So that's about 10
o'clock. It might have been 11. No.
That's about 10 o'clock.
It
going
was later.
To the club.
It don't matter. That was a long time ago. The point is that when I told Jason, I said she called you twice too, which was irritating, right?
Right.
Because you got to go. What you called him twice, right?
It went back to back.
Yeah, it was a few hours in between, but you didn't call her back. So she expects you to call her back so much to the point that she gonna call you again because you didn't call her back.
Maybe it was an accident.
Y'all see? You see?
I'm just saying.
No, do y'all see what I'm talking about?
I'm just saying.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? So I told Jason I was upset. I'm hot, right? Because I'm like, who is this calling you late at night?
Right.
Oh, she just a friend. She talking to me about one of my homeboys. She talking about somebody else.
Yeah, let's throw that out there because I almost forgot about that. She was actually cool with my homeboy.
It's a lie.
She was. They did it. They was in relationship, like they wasn't together, but they was, she was cool with my homeboy.
So she's playing. Listen, I've had a lot of friends of the opposite sex, and sometimes I had an experience where a dude was talking to me about his ex. Every day we talking about her, but then when I get a man,
but they wasn't an ex though. They was.
But there was somebody.
They was cool.
Yes, they was cool. But she trying to get at him. She's talking to you.
They are talking too.
But okay, so why she calling you? Because she wants to get an understanding about him. That's how she got in. This is y'all conversations, is that she is calling you because she wants to talk about him. Right. And I'm telling you, I have lived through an experience where this guy was my friend. Mm-hmm. Majority, 99% of the time, we talking about this other chick, what he should do. But when I got a man, he was like, well, I liked you. Well, we talked about this other woman
right
every single day.
Right.
I thought that you liked her. Right. Why would I think that you like me? Just because we spending time together every day?
Right. He liked to hear how you would do in certain situations.
So, but he playing.
And he fell in love with that.
And she playing with you. She
wasn't getting nowhere if she was.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what she was doing. She wants to talk to you, but she pretending like she talking about this other guy. She like the way that you speaking.
I mean, I'm a nice guy.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? I'm charming. You know what I'm saying?
You guys, do y'all
respectful?
See how easy I just said? If Jason don't like somebody, I would easily kick them to the curb. But when I
would do the same thing.
Now that we married, but I don't know. But when I brought that up to Jason, y'all, he was like, I mean, he just defending it. I'm trying to tell you, as a woman, right, I know something that you don't know. So this is the point of this, you guys. This is the point. You need, especially if your partner is not a jealous person. I ain't never had a problem with Jason's female friends. I ain't never got a problem with them.
Right.
He got plenty of them.
Right.
So if I come to you and I tell you I don't like something, I need you to get right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm telling you this for a reason. And
this was like, again, just for everybody to know, this was what,
like
10 years ago?
Yeah, a long time ago. I'm still upset about it.
Apparently.
I'm still mad about it. I'm over here doing neck movements, hand movements.
Yeah, I gotta dodge a little bit. She trying to come at me, but no, yeah, it was 10 years ago. We wasn't married, and we was boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Yeah, was we even engaged?
No, we weren't engaged.
Wasn't even engaged. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, that don't matter to me. That does not matter to me at all.
I'm just saying. I just want to get everybody to get in the same page that we on.
Yes, right. Yes. But when I brought this up to Jason, I said no. I was upset because I had been in the boot camp, so it was kind of felt fishy, like something else was going on. Like, why is she calling? She in California. She not even talking about. I said, listen to what I'm telling you. She know better. She knows better. Period.
She might know.
So y'all been talking late? That's what I said. So y'all been talking. You've been allowing her to call you late at night while I'm in boot camp. You know what I'm saying?
It might time maybe go rolling a little bit.
I have friends that's in different time zones, and I'm not calling them late at night. Okay?
I mean,
I do that math. It's not appropriate to call somebody, especially if they got a girlfriend. It's not appropriate to call them after 8 o'clock, really. Unless you really need something, really.
After 8 o'clock.
Maybe not 8. Maybe. Y'all let us know. When is the appropriate time?
Yeah, when is the cutoff time? That's a good question. Email us at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. When should the opposite sex friends stop calling? What's the cutoff time? Is 9 o'clock it?
10.
Is it 8?
10 o'clock maybe?
8:30?
Yeah.
Shoot us an email. Let's talk about it. That's going to definitely be one of our questions on this week's live discussion. We really appreciate the people that spoke up and had some great conversations last week's, but we added again. So this week, live discussion, 6 p.m. Pacific, right? Different time zones, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So it can be 6 over here in Pacific time and 9 on the East Coast. So, we want to do a live discussion on Facebook. So let's talk about that. When is a good time to say, you know what, it's too late for these girls to be calling?
Right.
Yeah.
And these men. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So again, I think that people go wrong, and I think men have a harder time with this when a woman is telling you like, oh, she doing a little bit too much. Like, a
little bit too much.
I'm a woman. I know. You're a man, but sometimes you can see stuff that I can't see, true. And sometimes I can see stuff that you. I don't know why y'all men be acting so clueless sometimes too. It's like, no, dude, that girl like you, man. Like, right. And like, unless she like I'm just like, no, just get rid of her. Like, yeah, it's not. A boundary just needs to be set. Y'all need to get rid of her. Right. Some of them is like, no, if I feel like a woman like you, she need to go. Period. Right. I know you okay with it a little bit more than I am. I guess like you just said that, sometimes even if a dude like me,
yeah, I mean, you're very beautiful to me, Thank right? You. Very beautiful. You're very charming, genuine person, and I don't think your kind comes around that often. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when you see that, whether it's coworker or whatever, that may be a little liking a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of like a crush. Maybe a little crush. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, being married to a Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't be all on Beyonce neck every time she, working with certain people and she might have male friends. You can't be all, you gotta let Beyonce handle Beyonce. Mm-hmm. She got it. If she loves you, if you doing what you're supposed to do mm-hmm. to make sure that, that she's loved in all these areas, then don't worry about it. She got it. Even the one that's crushing on her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You do have a friend now that crushes on you. I don't want to put him out there, but it's all good though. Mm-hmm. He crushing on you a little bit, and that's fine. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's cool because it's kind of cute a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you're my Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be out on your neck like that because you got a dude that's crushing on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As long as he stay in his lane, he's very respectful. Mm-hmm.
But you can tell he just.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell.
Okay, so, but yeah, so men, fellas, ladies, I do think that you do need to state why you feel like this person is being inappropriate. Like you feel like okay, this person may like you and I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with your friendship. You know, I do need, it's okay to tell why. But sometimes it is just a good feeling. Sometimes it is just intuition, you know. Maybe you can't actually put your finger on it. But I just think that especially if you're married, but I really think long-term committed relationship too, is if your partner is just totally like, no, I'm not comfortable with this person, then let it go. Let it go. That person is more important, should be more important to you
for sure
than this friend over here. You know?
And if they're not, then something's wrong.
Yes. Okay. Number 3, my rules, my Ashley's rules.
Number 3, the Ashley rules.
You cannot, in my opinion, be friends with someone that you are attracted to.
That's that. I mean, I don't agree with that.
So Jason just don't agree with none of my rules, but
no, I do agree. But I think you can, like I said, we just talked about it. Physically,
you are attracted to, not an attractive person. Like I said, I have attractive friends.
Okay.
They're attractive physically.
Okay.
But I'm not attracted to them in that way.
Right. I see what you're saying. But
yes.
but is that the same thing though? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's like they're attractive. You recognize they're attractive. So if you recognize they're attractive, that means
when I say attracted to, I mean want to be with.
Well, no. No, you could tell. That's just like Halle Berry, or you could tell they're an attractive person, you know. And if you,
I think The Rock is very attractive.
Right.
I don't fantasize about being with The Rock.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. But some people would look at that and say, well, if you saying he's attractive and you saying he's very attractive, then you have some sort of attraction to him.
I guess
maybe I'm too literal.
I guess I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that, like,
maybe a sexual attraction or a deeper attraction.
I think
maybe that we can kind of clarify on that.
Yeah, sexual attraction. You know, a person that you just really,
because you could be attracted to people and just want to be around them because they're fun-loving spirit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, well, I don't know how to phrase this then, but do you know what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah, sexually attracted to, then. There we go. Then no, yeah, you shouldn't be friends with somebody that you're daydreaming, you know, doing all these different positions to. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? No, gotta take that away. Yes.
I think so. I think if that enters your mind at all, I don't think that you should play with that.
No, you can't play with it because that mind is something serious. It'll turn your whole emotions upside down.
Right.
If you let stuff wander around in there. Right. You gotta be straight up.
But I think that sometimes people do play with this because maybe
they feel that they
feel it feels good,
and,
right?
And they feel like I can handle this.
I can handle it.
I'm good.
Yeah, they want to be around the person because that makes them feel good. Like they feel good being around this person and being friends with them. And it's like, I can deal with this. I can handle it. Right. But no, you can't handle it.
I mean,
maybe you can.
Maybe they can.
But
why play with it? Why risk it?
Yeah. Just don't do it. Just run away as fast as possible.
Yeah. You got a little wasp coming at you. You don't necessarily have to run away, but you can turn around and walk away slowly.
So I think this just kind of goes back to being honest with yourself. And I think, like, in long-term marriages, we talked about this once before in an episode where do I feel like Jason would be attracted to someone in in our lifetime? Sure. Like, I think that I just hope that you would make the right decision to say, well, I find myself attracted to this person. Maybe I shouldn't hang around them, because I wouldn't want to do anything. It's just discipline of like, right. I mean, just because I'm attracted to this person doesn't mean I have to go sleep with them. Right. Correct. It's like, correct. But in order to safeguard against that, I think it's just better to remove yourself, from that situation. So, yeah. So I think that just like people just need to be honest with themselves and say to themselves, like, no, I'm attracted to this person and I have to make a decision to remove myself. Right. It's just simple as that. And when you're in a long-term marriage and something like that may happen, it's just about that decision. Right. To turn around and walk away from that person. And unfortunately, like sometimes a lot of this happens when you're going through a hard time when you're married. Like these sort of things may happen. Like, Jada and Will. Yeah. She said, okay, I'm sure everybody's seen the video by now, entanglement and all this other stuff. But she said, her and Will were going through a difficult time, right? Had they not been going through a difficult time, maybe she wouldn't have got into an entanglement, right?
Exactly.
But because of that, that difficult time plus being very close to a friend, because that's what she said, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said they were friends, they were very close, and her and Will were going through a difficult time. Disentanglement happened.
Right.
That's how it happens, people. So,
that's how it happens.
So I think that, once you see that attraction, man, you got to be like, oh, you got to recognize I'm in a vulnerable spot and I got to go. I got to go someplace else.
Right.
Right.
Get on out of there.
Yes. Anything else, Jason?
Nah, man. You just it's all about communication, man. At the end of the day, communication and trust. But communication is the foundation. Trust is the foundation. But communication, that's number one. Mm-hmm. Communication is number one because communication helps build trust. Talk to me.
Speaking of communication, I was just watching something and this husband went to his wife and told his wife he was really struggling, with thinking about other women or something.
Right.
How would you feel about that? Like, would you want me, if I was really struggling, would you want me to come say that?
Yes, I would.
It wouldn't hurt your feelings?
Well, you're a human being, right? So your flesh is weak. Mm-hmm. Right. And so therefore, I'm not this perfect being. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm not that. Like maybe my spirit is, but my body is not this. So maybe you might be struggling with my pot belly or something. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That really, I need to go on and do my part and get my ass back popping again. You see what I'm saying? Or it could be a way that I talk to you. Maybe I talk to you in a damaging way that I don't feel like it's damaging. Like that's just how I grew up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that affects you. But when you at work, one of your coworkers that you work with, they just don't talk like that. They talk in a more, way that's more suitable for you. Mm-hmm. So I need to adjust. That's what communication does. It helps you adjust because we're all adjusting. The planet is adjusting. Everything is adjusting and growing, and you should be too. Right. Yeah. So communication, as you grow up, as a boy to a man, you're adjusting your body, but your body is communicating with other body parts. You gotta communicate. You just have to. Mm-hmm. If you don't communicate, you can't grow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to. Mm-hmm. So yes, please, if you're struggling with something, let me know.
I'm talking about specifically sexually attracted to other men and really thinking of
had that conversation with me.
Man, I don't know if I can handle it, Jason, honestly.
What?
I don't know. Would you tell me?
Yeah.
I would want you to tell me, but
yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
It's gonna be really hard.
Well, let's work on it together. Because if I'm not being pleased, and that's something that's huge for men, men would want to, not all, but most, I would think. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say some. If it comes out to be most, then it is what it is. But some men want to be pleased in the bedroom. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not doing it right, I gotta talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So before it even gets to the point of you thinking about somebody else, you already know mentally that she ain't doing this right. You know what I'm saying?
But what if it's just goes against your personality? Like what if your wife or husband has you're just really interested in something that your wife is just not interested in? It's just like her personality is not, matching that.
Right. And so therefore, so first of all, to kind of avoid a lot of this stuff, that's why you need to have all those crazy conversations when you're dating. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why all those crazy, because some people say, oh, you talking to, that's telling too much information, yada, yada, yada. It is what it is. You're trying to match up with somebody you're going to be with the rest of your life. Right. So it's important to get this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? Would you expose who you are a little bit to some people? Yeah. Hopefully, they are people that you connected with that they will, if y'all don't end up being together, they would keep your information private. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta choose who you gonna tell that type of stuff to, right? So it's important to get that out in the beginning. But let's say you didn't get that out, right? You in this relationship, now you in there, right? 15 years down the road and you struggling, you know what I'm saying? Well, you just gotta have that sit down. And if that's, you know, if that's not what, you know, if that's not what something that she really is comfortable with doing, then, you know, maybe you can ask to at least try, you know, for us, you know, but at the same time, you got to try on your side as well. What if she never can do this? Right. So you got to try on your side too. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So then y'all got to come to a mutual agreement. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
This reminds me of something that I saw on TV. I don't know if it was on Steve Harvey's show or something like that, but this man wanted his wife to strip for him. Okay. And they're married. So this, you know, I'm kind of, as long as I don't believe in like bringing third people and stuff like that into a marriage, but I'm kind of like, you know, what a man and a husband and wife do, and they, you know, if they, whatever they want to do.
Lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets.
Let's do it. Like, we're married. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, but she was just shy, or she just thought it was like something that bad girls do. You know what I'm saying? But he just really, really wanted her to do this.
Well, guys, there's a way that you can put, you know, you can pull that inner freak out of her. You know, you don't have to be so aggressive with it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the education of it. You know what I'm saying? And why you like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's break it down and present it to her a more softer way. Present it to her as porridge. You know what I'm saying? Nice, creamy, you know, easy to digest. You know what I'm saying? Get a little sugar in there, a little, you know, smell good, taste good. Yeah. But if you try to shove her down the throat like a brick,
I don't think he was doing that. Like
no. What I'm saying is the information. Yeah. So if you're trying to just force the information, you need to do this, and you need to do it like this, yada 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 yada. She might not receive that well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you present the information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it has nothing to do with that. Like, it's like sometimes, especially like stripping or something like that, a woman, a lot of times, if they don't feel comfortable with their body, that's hard to do.
But you with that man all the time.
But it's still, this is why
that man see that body.
This is why self-care, self-love is so important, because
we gonna pump you up.
Well, but it still don't change the way she feel. Like, she got
like that stomach jiggling a little bit.
Oh Lord.
You know, wrong with a little stomach.
Yeah. So okay, well, we digressing a little bit, but the key is communication. If you're struggling, you know, talk to your partner about certain things. You know what I mean? And like Jason said,
we grown.
Hash these things out together. You know, be honest with yourself. If you're having a hard time, tell your partner. Y'all get in there, talk about that, man. Talk about it, and maybe things can change, because at the end of the day, you want to be with each other. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So sometimes you forget that. Sometimes people can forget it if they're going through a hard time.
Right.
Okay. Rule number 4. Just because you didn't mean it that way doesn't mean they didn't take it that way. So I'm talking about being friendly with the opposite sex. So like, just in the way that you should conduct yourself, so your friend of the opposite sex does not get the wrong idea about things, right? So for example, Jason is a social butterfly. Yes. He likes to compliment people. He likes to compliment women. You told me an example. I don't know if you're you'll compliment anybody. But sometimes, depending on where that woman is in her life, if you compliment her, she may take that the wrong way. Right. You gave me an example of a time when you kind of felt like, I don't know if you remember this, but you said you complimented a woman. And he was like, "Oh, you look really nice," and she was, you know, kind of asking like where I was, you know, kind of like her next question was, you know, where's your wife? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't trying to, you know, come at you because you weren't with me. Right. Maybe if she would have said that and I was with you, then it wouldn't have been a problem.
Right. Yeah. And no shot at her, because she probably just got a lot of dudes coming at her like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that people come in trying to play nice, try to play this nice guy. But shoot, I'm really that nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just playing the game. I'm not playing the part. That's who I am. Right. So if I feel like you look beautiful today or you look great today, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna just tell everybody, hey, you look great, you look great, you look great. You know, but I actually know this person. Like, oh man, I haven't seen you in a while. You look beautiful. You look great. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. So I think that like the problem comes in with me is because I really like to help people, and I kind of keep going back to Jada, but I thought about myself as she was talking about this of like a person that really likes to help people, and I think that like I really did think about being a psychiatrist or a therapist, and I decided not to go down that route, but I think it would have been easier had I done that to help people, even like in the context of like friends of the opposite sex.
Right.
Sometimes they could become attracted to that, but like, no, I'm just like a little therapist. Like I just like helping people.
Right.
So sometimes people feel that and they tell me a lot of stuff. And I think sometimes that could make them, you know, more attached to me or, you know, start feeling a different way about me. And then I have to kind of draw a boundary, a line or whatever. So I actually kind of can't do that anymore, right? You know, like I can't
just draw the boundaries in the beginning.
Well, the boundaries are there, you know.
Just
so
clearly outline them in the beginning. Yeah, it does come off a little awkward, but just let them know, hey, this is what I ran into in the past, so I'm just throwing this out there now.
Like, I'm not saying that you in love with me, or nothing.
Right. I'm just not saying that you will like in the beginning of the friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying that you will like me or anything like that. I just ran into those issues. Don't have time for that. I'm happily married. Love my husband. Never would cheat on him. None of that. So, you know, that's just who I'm. Just a nice person.
Right. I see that, but then part of me is just like, I'd be exhausted with this, and I'm just like, I just kind of feel like if you're a guy and you got something hard to talk about, I mean, I may talk to you like one time about it, but after that, I ain't talking to you no more.
And some guys will still say, yeah, but they still come at you though.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna pull back on that a little bit. We'll see how it goes. How about that? But even just like being overly friendly, like I'm really friendly,
smiling all the time.
Like my sister runs into this a lot. She said she actually had a guy thought that, you know, got mad at her when he kind of like approached her trying to talk to her on a more than a friendship level, and he was like, well, you always smiling at me and laughing with me, and it's like I'm just a happy, nice person. I'm just smiling and laughing. It doesn't mean that I like you, you know. Right. So we just have to be careful about the sort of messages that we're sending to a person. They may think that, you know, oh, they're trying to come on to me or they like me. So I try to be conscious of it. I mean, maybe you shouldn't have to, but it is what it is.
And a lot of guys, man, we are thrown off, especially when you going through the motions of dating and stuff like that, or just being a single man. It's just kind of, you just get thrown off because it's good guys and it's bad guys, right? But it's good girls and it's bad girls, right? So when you a good guy, and you out dating or just being a single man, it's kind of hard to know who's really the good girl and who's really the bad girl. You know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all look like, you know, potential. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, if you fit my description, then it's just what it is. So it's just kind of hard. So you run into these bad girls that portray they're good girls and saying some of the same things that a good girl would say, but you will find out later on they're actually a bad girl. Right. And it just throws you, it messes up your psyche because you don't know, oh, you should be a man. You should do this. Well, you know, maybe, you know, I want to, maybe I'm still chivalrous. Maybe I want to, you know, maybe I want to do certain things. Maybe I want to court you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know that you feel like I'm less than a man because I'm not doing it this way. You know what I'm saying? But that may come to be just a preference, or that might be just like I said, a bad girl posing as a good girl and messing up your mind, because now you don't know. Well, shit, is all girls like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. Right. And it's a breath of fresh air when you run into somebody that thinks on the same path as you. You know what I'm saying? And you could just be you. It's, you know, that's the best part, just being you. Right. A lot of guys have to kind of fake the funk and put on this facade to try to match with that person, opposed to being you. And if it matches, it matches. If it don't, it don't.
Exactly. That is the key.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. So now we want to talk about, like, get into some specifics. What is okay to do as far as like boundaries? Like very specific scenarios, right?
Feeling like Nelly in here now.
What?
It's getting hot in here. I take off my shirt.
Okay. So, but this is important because sometimes you think you may have had a conversation with your partner about something, but
correct.
Actually we need to get down like
to the nitty gritty.
Yes, to specific scenarios, because sometimes some people think one thing is okay and the other person doesn't think that's okay. Right. So these are some of the things, just a few that I thought of that you could possibly talk to your partner as you all, and if you have decided that you want to have friends of the opposite sex. Right. And we were just talking about boundaries. Here are some specific scenarios.
Come on with these scenarios, love.
Okay. We talked about this on the past live, but would it be okay for you to have a friend that you were sexually intimate with in the past?
So will it be okay? So what do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because, I mean, it's such a slippery slope and it's such a gray area, especially coming from where we came from. And if you was some sort of, you know, if you was sexually active, you know, in a smaller pool.
Yes.
And it's almost like we grew up with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So our situation is a little different, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you definitely want to be, you want to be cautious with that. You know, I think once you cross that line, it's, you know, it's very slippery at that point. So right. I don't know. I think it just depends on each individual situation.
I kind of guess it goes back to like how you define friend, right? So I think you said on the Facebook Live discussion that, you know, you could have you could be a Facebook friend, right? Yeah. Now some people's like, I don't even want you to be Facebook friend. Yeah. I don't care about that.
Right.
I personally don't care about you being Facebook friends with them. But if you're messaging them all the time and talking to them all the time, well, okay, you know, what's going on here? Right. So a close friend of someone that you were once sexually intimate with, I would not be comfortable with. Right. But it's weird though, because it's funny how you judge certain situations that you've never been in before, and you think that, you know, it's not possible because it hasn't been your experience. So up until the point that I had a ex that I was sexually intimate with, and we actually did remain friends. Now before this time, I would not have said that, like, oh, you can't be friends with somebody, like, why, you know. Right. I would not have said that was possible. I don't really think it's really possible. But I know how I felt in that situation, that I really didn't want to be with him. He didn't want to. I don't know how he felt, but I know for sure I didn't want to be with him. Right. And I was totally fine being his friend. And it was all good. Like, my new boyfriend would not have had anything to worry about. Right. At the time, I was single. Right. Right. But, you know, I probably would have not stayed his friend anymore, because I'm sure my new boyfriend would not have approved. Right. But so basically that's kind of what happened. This guy that used to be my ex, that was my ex. He got into a relationship with a girl, and she said that she was not comfortable with our friendship. And I said,
which is understandable.
I totally understand.
Yeah, it's totally understandable.
Like, I thank you for having a conversation with me, instead of like, you respected me as a person and as our friendship, and you just said, you know, hey, she's not comfortable with this. Okay, thank you so much for having that conversation with me.
Cool. It's all love.
Yeah.
Blessings to you and your relationship, and hopefully your family, you know, blessings. Right. Yeah. Hopefully you guys can stay together. You know what I'm saying? So but like I said, before I had that experience though, I would have been like, they're not actually friends. Like, they probably doing something. And no, me and him, we were just friends. Like, so it is possible for there like not to be any feelings involved at all. Exactly. So, but I'm still not comfortable with it. Right. No, I get it.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's like something, here's another question, is something as simple as like grabbing lunch or coffee with somebody of the opposite sex. Is that okay?
Totally okay. I mean, and not to knock anybody that don't think that's okay. That's totally fine. This conversation is something that you got to have with your mate. Y'all got to see if what's comfortable or what's in the realm of possibilities for you two, right? So for a young lady may not want her husband or significant other to be, catching lunch with somebody else. I'm not going to call them insecure and all this and that, whatever. That's just their preference, right? But for me, you know what I'm saying? It's just like this. I feel like, what was it? Devon Franklin, right? He married Megan Good, right? Pretty much kind of like she's a beautiful actress, was kind of looked at like a sex symbol to a degree, right? Okay, so if she's doing her thing as an actress, as a producer, or whatever else that she does, which I'm pretty sure she has a lot of hats, am I going to really kind of cloud her space and not say, hey, that's not cool, you having lunch with somebody? And it's not business. Business is always business. You see what I'm saying? Like, even when you building friendships, you just never know what that friendship may take. You know what I'm saying? What person they may know. I know y'all heard of 6 degrees of separation, where everybody knows everybody through 6 degrees. So you know somebody that knows 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 President Barack Obama. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's 6 degrees of separation. I can see that
actually, like in my life for sure. Yeah.
Right. So then it might be 3 degrees. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. It's probably 2. But my point is, this just me. This is me and how I feel. Again, just like I'm not knocking you on how you feel. If you don't want your man to go, don't knock me because it's okay for my wife to go have lunch with a friend. And that's all it is. Even if that friend may have a crush on my wife, because imagine how many men that Megan Good has to work with, and I'm pretty sure some of them probably had a crush on her at one point of time or another, or still do. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So is he going to stop her from going to those lunch meetings and going to meeting with somebody, going this place, going to see this thing? Is he gonna stop her from doing that?
Right. No. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. But the reason why the people have such a hard time with this is because most of the time when people cheat, they cheat with somebody that they know.
Okay.
And they cheat with a friend. So like we were talking about on the live.
Where's the stats on that?
I'm sure that this is true.
Well, but I don't say most of the time, because a lot of times married men, and I guess married women, I'm not sure, but a lot of times married men go get a hooker or a prostitute. That's cheating. And they don't know them. They just pay for it real quick. Yes.
So we can, look, you know what? I'm going to find some statistics for this. Okay. But, it happens a lot. Right. And
if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Why are
period.
No, listen to me. No, because again, I do think this is why we're having the conversation about boundaries. Right. Some things lead up to this.
True that.
If you don't keep certain boundaries in place.
True that.
So for some people, this is one of the boundaries that they need in order to ensure that something does not happen. It goes back to like my saying of anybody is capable of anything given the right circumstances.
Right.
So if you so happen to have a friend that, hey, it always starts out as, we just cool. We just, we just like having conversation. We having lunch.
Right.
Now me and you hit a rough spot, and now you start talking to your female friend about very intimate things that's happening in your life.
Right.
You may gradually slip into something. That's how people say it just happened.
Right.
Because it's a gradual, slow process, and you really do slip into it if you're not.
Sometimes.
Right. If you don't have your guard up. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have certain boundaries set in place. So, like I said, this is one of them situations where, yes, it could start off as just like friendly lunches, but if you start going to lunch all the time and being with each other all the time, to me, it's the conversation that starts it, really.
Right.
So I can go to lunch and have like conversations about all sorts of random stuff, right? And it never turn into anything else. But I feel like this just it's all based on your conversation, what you're doing at that lunch, right? Because like you said, we want to have lunches with our business partners, our colleagues, or our friends, right?
Right.
But when you start opening up, talking about all the intimate details of your life, you know what I'm saying? Like really the intimate details of the relationship that you're currently in and stuff, to me, that's when it starts going to down a rabbit hole of no return.
And a lot of times when you're talking about those particular situations, these are problems that you're really searching for a solution for. And so if you sharing those problems with a coworker and they're giving you solutions, then you like, oh, well, this person solved this problem. Maybe they can solve more problems, and therefore you start get attracted to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's basically what's happening.
Yeah, we were talking about Usher's old song, You Make Me Wanna. And if you look at those lyrics where he says, you make me want to leave the one I'm with and start a new relationship with you.
It.
No, I'm not going to sing it.
You got the words. You make me want to leave the one I'm with, start a new relationship. You, what you do.
But he was saying stuff like, you know, you're the one I used to run and talk to when me and my girl was having problems. You used to say it'll be okay, suggest some nice things I should do, and then I go home at night and leave my head down,
and all I do is think about is you.
Because it's like, oh, this person gets it. They get it. You know,
right?
I'm having problems with my girl. Well, maybe if you were talking to your girl about these problems instead of your best friend or instead of your friend, then y'all can come to a conclusion.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Instead of talking to her about it. And she's coming up with all these solutions. You're like, oh, I need to leave this chick and go to her.
She can make these problems or these issues that I'm having, it won't be an issue with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what you don't know, that person on the other end could just be saying stuff just to fill his head up with something. You know? Because some of these girls they don't want to be in a relationship. They just sometimes don't want you to be with her.
Right.
So
exactly.
Men, sometimes we gotta listen to these women. You know what I'm saying? They know what they talking about. Some of these women just out for destruction. Yeah. And same thing as men. Some of these men are. That's why I say good girls and bad girls, good boys and bad boys. You know. Yeah. You just don't want to run into the one that just don't have any love in their heart, and they just out here just to watch the world burn. Right.
And you just made me think of a scenario that I remember happening when I was in college. I had a male friend, and he was upset because his girlfriend at the time had male friends, and a male friend of hers told her that she saw her boyfriend, which is my friend, right, in a room with another girl.
Right.
At a certain time, and he was like, that is a lie.
Right.
But this guy, so we were in college dorms, which is the reason why this would have been possible to see, right. Yeah. So, he was just like, that's not true. And I can't believe that you're going to believe this guy over me. Right. But it's her friend. It's her male friend.
Right.
That is lying because he just want to get at her. He wants her for himself. So that's the other, But I think that kind of goes back to, like, again, age, like we were talking about on the past episode of, I think a more mature man would never do something like that, lie, right, on, her boyfriend just to try to get her. Right.
I mean, that's why it's just so important to really vet the lead. When I'm in sales, so you have to really vet the lead, get a lot of information. You're supposed to just really, that's what dating is about. You know what I'm saying? Get the understanding, get to really know that person. That's just so important. Now, you can just look up and just jump into a relationship. Once you know, and I get it. Some people, it's love at first sight. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I think I kind of believe in love at first sight, you know what I'm saying, to a degree. But even with that, there's going to be some differences in there, and you got to work through that. You see what I'm saying? So it's important to really just get the understanding of who you're dealing with, you know? And I think that'll help along. Mainly, can that person communicate? And is that person trustworthy? That's just the basis of all foundation, communication and trust.
Yes. Jason's favorite phrase. We need to get a t-shirt that say communication and trust.
Hey, coming out pretty soon. Get ready. Communication and trust t-shirts coming soon.
Yeah. So what about talking to your friends every day?
What, like female friends or
Yeah,
male
opposite
friends?
sex friends. Yeah.
Well, so here's the deal. I know we like to categorize female and male and blah, blah, blah. Friends, right? Should you talk to your friends every day? Well, it depends on how much value you're getting out of that friend on a daily basis. Basically, that's how I see it. So whether it's a male or a female, old, young, that doesn't matter to me. It's just, what's the value there? Are you giving value or are you receiving value on a daily basis? And if so, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, talk to me.
I just don't think it's, maybe because my experiences have turned into, sometimes my male friends start liking me if they spend that much time with me on the phone talking to me every day.
You're a nice person.
Well, so you're a nice person.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think it, I think that there should be a limit. Well, me personally, I'm just not having friends like that anymore. I know Jason is like, I've made up my mind, Jason.
Do you think
I'm not having any male friends that I talk to every day. You know, I never really had one that I talk to every day, but I'm just not going to be on the phone chopping it up so much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just over for that for me.
Yeah, go for it, love. You know, if that's how you feel, then hey, I'm supporting you 100%. It's all love.
Well, thank you.
It is what it is.
So what about flirting? Some people think flirting is innocent. What do you think?
I don't deal with flirting now.
Flirting is cheating's first cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I believe that.
Yeah, I don't deal with flirting. But here's the problem. Some things that some people do may be perceived as flirting and really is not flirting. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at a drive-through and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" and I crack a joke, that's not flirting. That's just me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's, I guess, had that conversation with your wife. What you think, love? Or your significant other? What you think?
Yeah, exactly what you just said.
That's flirting?
No, it's not flirting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But when we go to drive-thrus, you be like, you always got something to say.
That's because I'm ready to go. I know your personality. You're not flirting. You just like to make people laugh. You like to have fun. You like to conversate with people.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're Mr. Chatty. That's my new nickname for
Mr.
you.
Value. I like to add value to people's lives. I think that's a more accurate statement.
You like to make people happy.
That's adding value.
Yes. So no, I know that you're not flirting, but like I said in the last rule, kind of, just because you didn't take it, just because you didn't mean it as like a flirtatious thing, doesn't mean that woman didn't take it that way. Yeah. So you still have to be aware of how you're behaving around a woman and understand that maybe she may get the wrong idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to be aware of that, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like,
but for the local, you know, checking out at the grocery store or the drive-through, which you're probably not going to see them again. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the city that you're in. So if you don't see them again, like, does it even really matter at that point? Like,
what, if you're flirting?
No, not flirting, but like if I'm just being me,
right?
And they took it the wrong way. That's kind of like on them. If they took it the wrong way and we're not going to see them, I'm not going to see them again. But if it's somebody I'm running to a lot, like my daughter's teacher, or something like that, then it has to, you know, exactly, it has to be some subliminal messages that's sent out saying that I love my wife, I'm happily married. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to come across as you think he all that. I ain't nobody trying to get at him. You know what I'm saying? Like some people might take that the wrong way if I come in and say, hey, I kind of, you know, I'm a happy person, so I'm not trying to.
No, you don't have to preface it. You know
how you do it.
You just, I don't know. You have to read that other person, you know, to see if they are seeming like they're taking it the wrong way.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good at that, Mr. Sales Guy. Reading people.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you've given anyone the wrong impression from when I've been around you and saw you interact. I don't feel like you have. My
thing is, the thing that I do, I got a unwritten rule where I say, if I can't do this in front of my wife, then I probably shouldn't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So the things that I do it right in front of my wife. Like that's just, you know, that's just what it is because it's who I am. I'm not trying to, it's no a different motive. I don't have a different motive trying to get at you or something, you know?
Yeah. I think that's a great rule. We're going to get to that,
Okay.
actually.
Let's get to it.
So here's one. Here's another one. Another scenario. Should we all be friends, basically? So, you know, does your female friend have to be my friend, and does my male friend have to be your friend?
So here's the deal. And I know, again, not knocking anybody that's their preference. I think this is the beauty of it. These rules or these things that we're saying, this is what works for us, right? And there's other people out there like me and Ashley, right, that has, you know, kind of a butterfly, social butterfly and all that good stuff as a significant other. So this works with us, but, you know, trust is important. So me personally, I don't think I have to be your male friend's friend. No, because he's your friend for you. He got to, you know, y'all friendship was made because of who you are. Now, I'm a cool person. If it just so happened that we click, we click. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But that's not a requirement. No.
Well, some people have the boundaries set in place that the only way to have friends of the opposite sex is if we are all going out together. Yeah. Right. Like, and that's fine. Like,
hey, that's how you want to roll, then go for it.
Yeah. And so I don't necessarily, I do feel like I want to meet your friends.
Eventually, yeah. I don't think you should have to meet them soon as,
you guys are friends, let's meet today.
Let's friends, yeah. Show me her Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's necessary. Let it naturally happen. You know what I mean? Like, we might have a barbecue or something. Hey, yeah, come on over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll definitely, you should meet them eventually. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, does it have to be before y'all move forward, before you talk to her again, I got to meet her. You know? Like, trust your partner a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that is also like maybe a good way if a man is trying to make sure that a woman does not feel like he's coming on to her. Oh yeah, he could say, "Come on over and meet my wife." Right. You know, I'll do it all the time. Yeah. If I'm talking to coworkers or whatever, and I say, "Hey man, we having a barbecue. Come on over." You know, that invitation is for anybody. Right. You know. Yeah. So I think that's a good one. And so I think this one is basically, like Jason said, talk to each other. We're just telling you what we do in our relationship. I want to meet his female friends. And other than that, I feel the same way he does. That is his friend. He has female friends that he likes to talk to with sports and, you know, business stuff. And that's just not my, I talk about business stuff, but it's not my passion. Right. Right. And I will have male friends that I talk to about, movies. I can talk to Jason about that, but to go into like really deep analytical film school sort of conversation, right? I'm gonna need somebody else for that, right? So I think that's fine. You know,
there's nothing wrong with that. Right. Talk to somebody else about your black and white pictures.
We had a conversation. This is an inside joke. We had a conversation about why black and white movies are still good. Like it's about the story. And Jason is very visual, so I think he would have a hard time watching a black and white film just because it's black and white.
It's almost distracting.
But that's okay. That's what I got friends for, right?
Yeah, like, exactly. It's not enough information for me to just really suck in and really pay attention to it. It's like it's black and white, so it's like it's visually nothing. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so just kind of to wrap this part up, I just wanted to say, just give a personal experience. So Jason and I have boundaries, but we don't believe in holding on too tightly, I guess, right? To each other. And I really appreciate that. And I really appreciated it a lot when I was in the military and, you know, off at these stations, these, you know, Navy bases by myself with no friends. And the only friend that was my age was a guy, you know? Right. And if he was not open to me hanging out with guys, like most of the time I hung out with my guy friends in a group. Like we started doing this thing every Friday night. Me and I think it was like 2 guys and like 3 girls. We would go to the movies and go out to eat. Right. We all go out as a group, you know? And it was fun. And it would have been very depressing to me if I had to sit up in my room and not go out because I can't go out with guys.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And did some of those guys probably liked you a little bit? Yeah, probably so.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? But did that affect, you having fun and just having a friendship with the group?
Right.
No, it didn't. Right. I remember, this is a personal experience. I remember I was dating a girl and we was long distance dating and she wanted to work out. Right. And so she needed a little motivation. And so I guess one of her classmates wanted her to, hey, I can go jog with you. And they just, but because they were so busy, they can only jog like at night. It was like 8:00, And so, me at that time, I was like, oh, hell no. You not jogging around with no dude at 8:00 at night and I'm all the way here and you all the way there. What if he do this and what if he do that? What happened to this? Blah, 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 blah. Right. But I feel like, that wasn't the right thing to do because we trusted each other and she wanted to work out and, it's just like, dang, so I'm a prisoner now. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so the dude kind of came back because she said, no, my boyfriend don't want me to. And so he was like, dang, you can't work out. Like you giving him a way to get in. Right. Even if your relationship was locked solid, he got a way of in now because that makes sense. It's like, oh, so you can't work out now? You a prisoner? Like, dang, you can't do what you want to do? This dude is always somewhere else telling you, dictating your life. He could just be running game though. He could be, but is it, and this is me, I understand everybody else, right? If you think differently, no, I'm not knocking it, but this is just me and my perspective. He could be running game, but I want her to see that. You see what I'm saying? I don't necessarily want to protect her. It's just kind of like raising children. You don't necessarily, you want to stop them from hurting themselves and stuff like that. But sometimes you just got to kind of let them do what they're going to do and kind of just be there for them and kind of guide them a little bit where they don't hurt too bad. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like get them that feeling of, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? So like, let's say they ride on a bike, you let them ride the bike, but you kind of right there on them. So when they fall, you can kind of catch them, but they felt that, right. So I want her to, if he's trying to holler at her, she need to catch that. Yeah. And so now that's gonna be that situation can diffuse itself. Like, I can't fool with him, and we can communicate about that. You know what I'm saying? I can give her my perspective as a male, but by me just shutting it down, saying, "No, you ain't finna," now I look like I'm the bad person, right? And it's like, well, dang, I'm a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? I can do what I want to do. Yeah, and so that brings that out.
Yes, because I think that probably would have brought, because it was just so difficult. Anybody who's been in the military knows what I'm talking about. It's just so difficult to be away from your family and in a new place and you don't have any friends. And I went into the military a little bit older. So the people, I was surrounded by a lot of 17, 18-year-olds, and it was just not, I just couldn't relate with them the way that I could with somebody who was my age. Right. And it was very hard for me to find a girl that was my age. It just was what it was in that place that I was at. Right. So,
and then, dealing with rank,
rank, yes.
Yeah, you may find someone that's older, but they outrank you.
Yes.
So they're not going to hang with you like that. I can't hang
with them like that. I'm not supposed to.
They're E5. They're a petty officer. Right. Air Force sergeant,
That's a good point, Jason, because that was a bigger deal. Like, yeah, I could find someone that was my age, but they were way higher ranking than I was because they came in at a young age and it just was not appropriate for them to hang out with me. So
when you finally find that person that you can relate with, who cares if they're a man or a woman?
Right. But this is why. So I understood something about, I do still feel like the boundary of conversation is a big one for me. What types of conversation that you have with the person, because I knew, because I've had friends of the opposite sex for a very long time before then, that closeness comes from sharing intimate details of your life, So I'm not saying that you can't tell them anything about like your childhood or anything like that. But when it comes to like sharing intimate details of your relationship,
right,
and the problems that you're going through,
right.
I just think that's a no-go. So my friends my male friends, and I even went out with some of them with just me and my guys, right? So I don't want to make it just seem like we was always with groups, but Jason knew.
Right.
I always talked to him about what I was doing and where I was going and all this other stuff and who I was going with, right? But I just think that it's important not to have that conversation.
Right.
And to me, that's just something that is the strongest boundary that I have when it comes to all of this. You have to watch your conversation with this person. And some conversations you just shouldn't be having.
Right.
That's what I think.
I'm with you on that. But some people out there, they can have those conversations.
I think for most people, no.
Yeah, for most people, I would say that as well. So it's like, again, this is all about having that conversation with your mate. I think you should put together some questions you should ask your mate if y'all gonna do friends of the opposite sex. I think you should
this is what we're talking about.
But I think you should put it out in a paper form and have it so people can download it.
I got you.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I'll do it. Okay. Last but definitely not least, rule number 5.
Last but not least,
what Jason said earlier. You just gave the golden rule.
What's the golden rule?
I changed it to do unto your partner as you would have them to do unto you.
For sure.
You said earlier that if you can't do it in front of me, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Correct.
Right? If you have any question about how you should conduct yourself with your friend of the opposite sex, all you need to do is take a second, think, would I be happy if my partner was doing this? Would I be offended if my partner was doing this with their friend of the opposite sex?
Right.
Or would I be okay with this? That's all you got to ask yourself.
Yeah. So in the same vein, would you say this with your significant other right there with you in the room and they know you're talking to her?
Right.
Right. Would you do this particular situation with your significant other right here? That's just what it is.
Yes.
Like,
just think of your partner. Would they be okay with this? Would you be okay if this was happening in there? And if a partner was doing this, would you be okay with it?
Right.
If you would be okay with it, you're probably good to go.
Right.
To do whatever it is that you're doing.
Right.
But if you are not okay.
Because some of these people, some people have open relationships.
Right.
And so, certain things are cool in their relationship. I'm not knocking it. That's what you do, but just have that conversation. It becomes cheating when you're doing something that y'all didn't agree on that y'all could do.
Right.
So
yeah, I think that's all you need to do. If you find yourself in a conversation and you're like, would I be happy if my partner was having this conversation with her best friend or her friend of the opposite sex? If you're not happy, no, don't have the conversation.
Right.
So that's it. That's the main thing. That's all you need, really.
That's it, man. Well, look, we're glad that y'all had a chance to sit through both of these, part 1 and part 2. If you only listen to part 2, go back and listen to part 1. And let's, hopefully, if you got questions, you can email us at loveologypodcast@gmail.com. Again, come visit us on Wednesdays. We're going to have we give away things on Facebook Live. So Wednesday, 6 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Please come and check us out on live on Facebook where we talk about what we just talked about, and we want to hear from you guys. This is a live discussion, and shout out to all our different people that's on the charts, right? Different countries. Shout out to Ireland. Shout out to
South Africa
and
America.
Shout out to America. Shout out to Canada. Shout out to Ghana. We got some followers coming in from Ghana and South Africa. So shout out to you guys. Thank y'all guys for being a part of the Loveology family. Please represent us well in other countries. Go ahead and purchase a shirt. Go to loveologypodcast.com. Get your shirt, get your hat, get you something to represent that you studying love. And this is a campaign, right? This is not just a podcast. This is a way of life. We studying love, y'all. We got to bring this love back because this world is filled with a lot of hate. And what's the opposite of hate is love. So we continue to love on one another, uplift one another, speak highly on one another, smile, all that good stuff, right? And if you want to become a Patreon, and we do appreciate all our Patreons that we currently have, because you guys help us help other people, and you do it by pledging money, donate on a monthly basis. So we really appreciate it. If you want to pick a tier and become a Patreon, go to loveologypodcast.com, find that button on there that says Patreon, and pick a tier. We got 3 of them. So you get free stuff, all that good stuff, man. So yeah, check us out. Anything else, love, before we get on down?
That's it.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to catch y'all next time. I love y'all. Peace out.
Bye. You've been listening to the Loveology Podcast. Did you have fun with us today? Tell a friend about our show. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Be sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. Visit us at loveologypodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, Loveologists.